I'd also like to thank our panelists ahead of our panel event this evening, because I've already heard them speak and they're fantastic. No pressure.
I'm really here because I think there's some real sort of gender sort of issues in terms of just entering this space. I've got a foundation that sort of helps a lot more women go into higher education in India. So it's something that I care about. But I actually also know how you feel now when you go to these all-male events, right? I'm nervous right now, so take it easy on me. But
We haven't started yet. It's really timely as we sort of got governmental things happening outside of our door today to talk about what's happening from a governance perspective in relation to the EU AI Act, and actually just to give the framework of good or bad. What is it? Is it going to stop us? Because I think many people have huge perceptions. So EU AI Act, over to you.
So the prohibited use cases at the top, the ones that thou shalt never, right, which are against human rights, are things along the lines of subliminal manipulation, social scoring. Okay, these are the things that they don't want to see use cases doing. Then we drop down into high risk categories, credit risk scoring, things that will need a much greater degree of defensibility and explainability as to how those outputs have been calculated and what inputs have been used. Then we get down into medium risk, which is more about watermarking, explaining which part of the information you're receiving or your result has been generated by synthetic versus human. And then we get down into low case, where we advise you're interacting with an AI.
What are the ethical considerations, and as you run your company as well, that a software business should keep in mind as we think about AI?
One of the main questions today is, especially you are in software, we're in software, when we face customers, is really they're trying to understand the implications of acquiring AI and what is responsible by design by AI, right? How do I basically are able to audit those models, AI models, right? I would say, there are many different dimensions here. One's, how transparent is your model? Is it audited by external third parties as well? Are you compliant, of course, with all laws and regulations? What about security? What about bias? And can you prove that your model, produces better results and those results are not biased? And one of those, particularly when it comes to hiring and recruiting, that I believe that machines do a better job than humans do, or can do a better job if it is the right bias and can even provide more opportunity at the top of the funnel.
I think it's completely rational that people are nervous. I think what the EU is doing with GDPR and now the EU AI Act, I think is fantastic. I think it's the right sort of step forward.
Really active leadership who are building a culture of curiosity. So we went out of the gates in terms of generative AI saying, look, we're not going to hold you back. We're not going to stop you from using ChatGPT as it was at the time, and everybody was blocking licenses to that. We are going to encourage you to experiment and to trial, but we will make sure it's done in a safe and secure way. So we had policies around it. We gave people guidance on what to do, but we encouraged use of the tools, and we said that this is all part of skilling and developing your careers as technologists in our business. If the C-suite are using AI and actively promoting its use, the workforce are 50% more likely to adopt AI. The CHRO is using it and doing the same, 70% more likely. So I just want to leave you with that as in terms of how you think about where you drive adoption from.
It's because we're scared, we think we don't know. We assume we don't know. The guys, they go in, they have a go. They're obviously 60% ready to have a go, but it's the same reason my little boys at age 3 and 4 jumped in the diggers at Diggerland, never having jumped in a digger before, and started pressing buttons, right? We're reading the manual, right? The gender difference is that we over prepare. Look at this panel. And then there's a bunch of stuff around content management, known challenges that the tool will help them solve much faster. So it's helping them doing more with less. But we like to call ourselves the David to the Goliath, and AI's the catapult.
I guess being a man, there are two, right? Tomorrow Spain is playing Germany, so the one way is Spain winning. That has nothing to do with AI, right? But it will just make me happy, that's for sure, right? The second one, more AI related. I worry about the impact with our youngsters and teenagers, especially around social networking, and what is that producing going forward, especially in terms of mental health.
A warm thank you to you, Helen, Chano, Priya, Sumir, and Joel. What a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.